Hi, Intuitive D 1111 here. If you enjoy my content, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe or the follow button, depending on which platform that you're on. It really does help my small channels to grow. It helps more people to get the messages, and it really does show me that I'm helping you guys in some form or fashion. Okay. And that's just something small to do, and of course it's it's free to do that, right? This is free content. Wow. So I guess what I've been really wanting to know is, and of course this is the collective and it's different for everyone, but I wanted to know, like, what is the blockage? Like, what are the blockages between you coming together with your person? Okay. And so this is what I have here. Let's get into it. Queen of Swords reverse. Okay. So a lot of times I look at the Queen of Swords reverse as another party. Okay, so there could be someone else that possibly somebody is married to, or an ex-partner, or someone that they've dated. A lot of times the Queen of Swords is married, okay, and divorced, or on their way to a divorce. Or this could be like, like an ex-child's mom, or this could be, if it's not even that energy, it's just the energy of somebody that's angry, somebody that can be emotionally manipulative, somebody that can be dishonest, and someone that is not living in their truth, okay? And this is within a family setting, okay, with the Ten of Pentacles. So this very well could be a contract. Now, just because this is the Queen of Swords doesn't mean it has to be a feminine. Keep in mind, it could be a masculine too, but this is just the energy. So what I'm seeing here with the Page of Swords, Four of Cups reverse, Ace of Pentacles reverse this time, King of Cups upright, and the Moon reverse, we're going to get into what these obstacles are. The obstacle is that somebody is not speaking their truth to you about their decisions, okay? Maybe their decisions based on their family beliefs, their cultural beliefs, maybe their decisions based on a work setting, or even their decisions on why they're being avoidant of your connection, okay? Because what I'm seeing with the Moon reverse, this talks about somebody that could be battling depression or anxiety, and the Queen of Swords reverse is somebody that could be very well upset, that is connected in a partnership with your person, or there could be like an upset family member or someone upset in their circle about this partnership. And that is a big obstacle because it's the first card out. So what I see here is somebody is missing you, okay? But at the same time, they know that they need some space to get their shit together, okay? For some of you, the reason why they're not coming towards you is maybe they're into something that you're not really... What's the way to put this? Maybe someone has a hard time controlling their lust, controlling their desires, maybe someone, because they have maybe a sex addiction or a porn addiction, or maybe they just really need some inner healing, and they're always looking for multiple people to connect with because it feeds their ego. 333 on the timer, as I said that. We also have over here gang life. So someone really could be about that life, or maybe they just roll with a lot of people that they're willing to steal, kill, destroy, right? I mean, that's what they say in the written word of what the devil comes to do. And that's what's attached to these type of groups. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a gang. It could be a community, okay? A community of people. It could even be a coven of people, okay? It could be a like a mob. Okay, so I feel like someone has some type of affiliations, and these affiliations are interfering with your connection. Okay, it could even be a church group. Okay, because I'm getting just groups. This person has been crying over you. For some of you, they have been stalking you online. Some of you, maybe even in person or driving by your house or your job, things of that sort. And what I'm seeing here is that some of you, they're staying away from you because while they were out there exploring their fetishes, maybe they caught something, and they don't want to give that to you because, we just keep it real here. 444 on the timer. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they don't, they could have even caught something worse than this for some of you. I know someone connected to them, definitely. has this situation going on, or else this card would not have came out. Okay, and that's what happens. You know, when you fuck around, you find out, right? So someone decided they were going to fuck around, and then they ended up finding out the hard way. Okay, that's why you cannot just connect with people that have been with everybody. You know, if that person has a lot of, it has connected with people that have a lot of time on their card, you need to put your own safety first, okay, for your health. Wow. So what I'm getting here is with the Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups, this person is nostalgic, okay? They're reminiscing about you. I feel like, maybe they listen to music. Maybe they sit in a recliner or a chair. Maybe they sit on the couch. Maybe they're at work and they're deep in their emotions. People are noticing that this person is affected by you, okay? So if you're wondering if they're missing you, if they're, loving you, yes, we have the King of Cups out here. We don't have the King of Swords out here at this moment. So what's showing me is that this person does love you. With the Page of Swords, yes, they're definitely keeping an eye on you. But I feel there's also someone keeping an eye on them. There very well could be an entire, multiple people or a group, like I was saying, keeping an eye on them. And they want this person to miss this opportunity with you, okay? They don't want this person giving you a love offer. Matter of fact, they really want this person to, for some of you, they want this person to leave you alone. For others of you, they really want this person to, because they have negative entity attachments, they want this person to destroy your life or trick or manipulate you to come against you, okay? I feel this person has been holding on to you energetically, okay? But they've also been holding back as well, too, because they know that there's a lot of haters, there's a lot of jealousy that's around this connection, okay? I feel this person is trying to be logical about this connection. They really could be looking at your locations. Maybe they're looking and trying to see, like on Facebook, for an example, they're like, oh, okay, well, such and such was over here today. I wonder what they're doing over there. Or, I feel like what's happening is that somebody is not really speaking from their heart when they're talking to you. They'd rather talk about flirty things or mundane things than be honest with you about how they truly feel. And the truth is that I'm getting is that this person really doesn't know what to do about this situation, because I feel like they could have someone from their past that they still haven't really healed over, or healed from, that they haven't really connected with. And, I was married for about 17 years. Okay. Now, any of you that have lived with anyone or, okay, in a long-term relationship or like lived together, moved in together, okay, or any of you that have been married before where you were living together, let's talk about that, because that's what I'm seeing here as an obstacle. What's happening is that, people think the grass is green, right? But then they start thinking the grass is greener somewhere else when all of a sudden they're seeing this person day in and day out. Because love is great. Love is essential. Love is the foundation, right? Of a connection. But there have to be actions that follow that. Because what I'm being led to tell you all is that for some of you, if you moved in together with this person, if you lived with this person day in and day out, you would have slightly different feelings about these karmics and these third parties, as we label them. Because I can tell you anything, it's easy to put something over on somebody that you've never lived with. But it's very difficult for you to put something over on somebody that knows your patterns, that watches the way that you move, that has seen you day in and day out, that has seen you handle the highs and lows of life. Okay? Because a lot of people, when the highs are great, they want to be there. And when the lows are bad, they either want a divorce, right? They start making, problems and, just everything becomes a nightmare or an argument. Okay? They either go to therapy because they want to save the connection, or what they end up doing is, unfortunately, with, the divorce rate as high as it is, especially here in the US, they end up cheating because whatever it is, they're not communicating exactly what they need to their partner, or maybe there's just, there's a whole list of reasons. But what ends up happening is they start looking outside of their connection. because they feel like something is missing within their connection, not realizing they need to take accountability for their contribution to the connection. Now, I do know that, yes, there's true that some karmics and third parties, yes, they're doing spell work. Yes, they could be money hungry. Yes, they could be, but they're not all that way. Or why would that person have been with them to begin with? Do you see what I'm saying? So we all have to be honest with ourselves and really look at a situation and say, hey, both people were clearly at fault. But, for there to be an excuse to step out of a marriage or to step out of a long-term partnership with somebody that has invested in you, okay, or somebody that, has been there for you. Like maybe you lost a job, they were there for you, they were supporting you. Or maybe you got injured at work, they were there for you, they took care of you. Or maybe that person had kids for you, raised those kids. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things. Maybe that person worked multiple jobs to support your family, okay? Because I feel like what happens is when people start, avoiding their partner, going out, okay, hitting the streets, right, looking for a quick good time, and then they end up developing feelings for somebody outside of their connection, then they find themselves in a pickle, right? And the pickle is this: they're not speaking their truth. Because if they were speaking their truth within their own partnership of whoever they're in a relationship with or living with or married with, they would say, hey, you know what? I understand. Let's say, I understand we have a bunch of kids. I understand we have multiple businesses. I understand that we have a lot of liabilities and responsibilities, but this isn't working out. And because this isn't working out, even if the person's going to get crazy or not, oh, well, you're not going to give all your years away to somebody just for the kids or just for the community or just because of money. No, that's not what it should be. It should be people having honest communication. So can we work on these issues, or we need to make plans to go our separate ways? Because what I'm seeing here is that someone doesn't quite know what they want. They don't know what to do. Okay, one day they're invested in with this person, and it's like, oh, baby, you need something at the store. And, oh, do you want me to run down to such and such and to get this for you? Oh, can you go pick up the kids over here? Oh, you know what? I really need this. Can you send me money for this? Or, oh, did you remember to pay that? Or, oh, was this drafted out of your account for this? That's reality. That's reality. Okay. Reality of these relationships when you've lived with someone or you've been married with someone or you've been in a long-term commitment is that a lot of times these quick fixes, they're not going to be able to do all that. They're not even on that level for some of them. They're out there looking for a good time and then they get somebody pregnant. They're out there looking for a good time and then they get an STD and they bring it back to their partner. Okay. So that's why people have to be honest and real. And I know that I'm on a rant right now, but I'm just getting personal because, when I met my TF, I was still married. Okay. And instead of me having that honest communication because I was afraid, with my spouse having a background in, in criminal justice and, and all of that, I was afraid that, I might lose my kids or, he was already possessive and psycho and I didn't want to just rock the boat, so I didn't speak my truth. And then I ended up meeting my TF while I was already married. Okay. So of course, I really didn't do anything for about a good year or so, but everyone gives into temptation when they're constantly putting themselves in situations to be tempted, right? And I'm just keeping it real with you guys because, I made a decision and I said, okay, so what I'm going to do is I actually did not even intend to sleep with my TF. But one night, that's what ended up happening. When I tell you that my marriage was never the same again after that, when I tell you that my person was still willing to be with me after that, when I tell you that my person got even crazier after that I was married to. So that's what happens when you listen to, the negative forces, okay, that whisper sometimes in our ears and try to talk us out of situations. Because in reality, sometimes people give up long-term commitments with people that would have been there with them till they were old and gray and took care of them, just so that they could get a quick fix, or just because they think someone's cute and they're showing them attention and that person cares about them. No, because what happens is some people, they will end up leaving their marriage for someone that is a gold digger, or for someone that's looking at them as a booty call, or is using them for some type of way. You know, the devil wears many different outfits. So that's why it's very important that people really have to decide and say, hey, you know what? Am I sticking in this thing, or are we getting out of this thing? Is this salvageable, right? Is this reconcilable? Because what I see here is somebody that is with someone for the wrong reasons. Maybe there was love there initially, but I don't really see the love there now. Okay, what I see is two people worn out, not really able to stand each other, and both already looking for replacements for the other person within one living situation or within a connection. Okay, so the main obstacle is desire. It's maybe someone lacks, chemistry with the person that they're with in a marriage right now or in a relationship. Okay. Maybe there is, or maybe someone doesn't have any self-control and they go out with these fetishes. Now let's get into these fetishes, because I don't give a blank, so I'm gonna say what it is. If you have somebody and you have a fetish and there's something that you really want to do, if that person loves you, they should be down to experiment with you. Now I'm not saying anything crazy, unless, to each his own. But what I'm saying is, if a person does not communicate with their partner about what they really actually want in the bedroom, that's the first problem. Because if you're not going to give it to that person, you better believe they're going to go out there to the streets and they're going to get it somewhere else. They will even pay for it. And we're going to keep it real here. So that's why it's important, even prior to marriage, okay, or prior to being in these connections, to really be honest and don't think, oh, well, maybe this person's too proper, they won't do that. No, you never know. If that person loves you, guaranteed they might throw it back, dip it, and reverse it. You know what I mean? They might try different gadgets. I don't know, whatever it is that people do. Okay, they might go an extra 30 minutes, with the throat game. Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is, and hopefully I'm not being too inappropriate, but you guys know, it's like there needs to be some type of agreement. Okay, and if all of that can't be fixed when it comes to the desire area, then yeah, you really need to, figure out what you're going to do to get out that situation. Because keeping somebody on the side is not the answer. And then to top it off, having somebody on the side, maybe it's a coworker, or maybe it's someone that you met and then all of a sudden you didn't tell them about this other person, then you fell in love with them and everything else I hear in these readings. And there's a realization like, oh man, I really love this person, but there's already a lot of gossip. Who cares what anybody has to say? 1818 on the timer. If you want somebody and you want to be with them, it should not matter what anybody else has to say. It really shouldn't. Okay, because it's you and that person in that connection. So if someone is serious about you, it doesn't matter whether they have kids or not. They will get out of that marriage. It doesn't matter whether or not they have a ton of money or not. They will go rent a room somewhere. They will save their money. They will do whatever it is that they have to do to get out. And I know it's true because I have clients that have done it. I have done it. You know what I mean? When you want to get out of something, trust me, you get out of it. And I didn't get out of my marriage right away. I made excuses. Oh, but the kids, oh, but I'm supposed to be this Christian wife and this blah, and all these different things. And I was miserable, literally drinking and just depressed in whatever van or SUV I had at the time outside of my home before we had lost that residence. And so all I have to say is, it's like, trust me, the kids would rather see you happy and with somebody that you actually love. Okay. because life is not, but also it's not about just trying to find somebody else that you think is going to be better than the person that you're with. You have to have actually tried to go to counseling, or tried to make things work, or tried to see the other person's perspective. Because if not, you're just going to meet somebody else and you're going to realize that they're going to be telling you the same thing that the other person you were dating told you. You know, because you have to be honest with yourself. If you have one person, like if one man has one woman and that woman is like, you know what, you're selfish, you don't ever consider me in your decisions, or you're selfish, you don't ever make personal time with me, or you're selfish, you know, you only want to do this in the bedroom and then you want to just go to sleep. Like you don't want to do this or do that or whatever. And then they're like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to hear you anymore. So that man goes to the next woman. And then the next woman ends up saying the same thing. The common denominator is not that both those women are crazy, because we know men love to say that women are crazy, and women say that stuff too. But the common denominator in that analogy is the man. He needs to realize, okay, well, why am I being avoidant in my connections? Am I really just focused on what I want at this moment? Am I really thinking about the other person? You know, it does say in the word, it says, you know, for men to love them wives as they love themselves. And unfortunately, in this selfish society that's very narcissistic at times, you don't really see that. So that's why it's important to look at what that person is mirroring back to you and say, hey, you know what? Maybe they're onto something, right? Let me not bring my baggage into the next connection. How about this? How about I end one connection before I even entertain another? 21:21 on the timer. And that is what I have for you guys. Thank you for I hope you enjoyed this rant. Namaste.